We have some people who they don't get to own firearms for whatever reason, and they can come borrow one of ours and shoot it at the range. And it's a lot of fun for them. It's just something they never get to do. That's part of it.
For some reason. So this is a special event for felons?
I mean, maybe their wife won't let them own a gun.
Oh, the anti-Valentine's Day. This is perfect.
Evel Knievel inspired millions of us with his courage and perseverance. We're building a museum so you can relive those memories and be reinvigorated with that spirit of bravery.
My name is Evel Knievel. I'm a professional daredevil.
Along the way, we meet people involved in the life, the times, and the legacy of the King of Daredevils. Here with their stories is your host, Joe Friday.
Welcome to the Thrill Show from the Evel Knievel Museum. I'm Joe. This is Jason.
Hello.
As you know, the Thrill Show is built around action, inspiration, and Evel Knievel was all about that, and Jason is all about that. Action and inspiration for a good cause. If you like to blow stuff up, race cars, and shoot guns, this is the event.
This is it.
Yeah.
This is.
So, Jason, can you tell us about Man Day, Kansas, and what's going to happen here in April?
Sure. In 2007, I had a college friend, and he was living in Oklahoma and in the country outside of Enid. And this was kind of an anti-Valentine's Day thing that he got together some college friends for the purpose of shooting guns, eating meat, kind of being stupid, just having a good time. And they made this creed, and they, is all about this anti-Valentine's Day thing.
Is it in February?
I can't remember if the original one was. I think it was a certain number of weeks after or something like that. I mean, honestly, and even though we want to be all manly about it, it was like when he could get the house away from his wife, right? Because he'd invite these guys over and he has 3 daughters and a wife, and, he was kicking them out. And it's like, we're going to be man this weekend, nobody around. And so it was all tongue in cheek, man day, ha, ha, ha kind of thing. And, so the rule, like he started with 6, 7, 10 guys or something like that. And they wrote up this declaration of man, and it was all pretty funny. But basically it was just having a good time doing stupid stuff. The rule was that if you had been to Man Day, you could invite somebody else to Man Day next time. He was a farmer and ran an irrigation company, which will be important as we talk a little further. He had meat and all this stuff. And it was kind of like well, if it's here, you can have it kind of day. I mean, it was super generous on his part and really fun. So I think the first 2 happened, and then I got invited along the way from somebody I knew who had been there. And so I got to go to my first one. And so that was like 2007. So the church that he was going to at the time in Enid started getting involved with some ministry that was happening in Niger with I'll call it Hosanna Niger. It's called officially Hosanna Institute of the Sahel. Okay, Hosanna Niger.
Yes.
The main thrust of this thing was drilling water wells. And so my friend Brent, who sold pivot sprinkler systems, knew how to drill water wells. And some other people in the church also knew how to do that. And so through the church and these guys' knowledge of how to do this, they ended up breaking down and shipping a water well drilling rig to Niger. The water wells cost about $2,000 to put in. Along the way, and I think around about 2013, he was like, well, so those of us who had been coming for a few years, he was like, what do you think if we charged admission to this? Do you think people would show up? And we're like, yeah, I think so. And so that's how the 2 things ended up merging. So I love the organic nature of it. It was like this stupid day of just being dorks and kind of like even being unsafe about things and the different events that we ended up doing as a kind of a mainstay of Man Day, all formulated during this time, And so anyway, that's how it started. But back to your original question, what is Man Day? It is like this day where a bunch of dudes can come out to property that not many of us have, that especially live in the city and all this stuff, and do kind of stupid stuff. I mean, it's safe, stupid, but I mean, we kind of whitewash it a little bit. It's not like we're all risking death or anything like that.
Dude, it looks dangerous with automatic guns and explosions. And does anybody ever get hurt?
We have had, okay, so I'm not definitively positively sure, but I think 3 people have gotten hurt. 1 year before we had it combined into the fundraising, a guy was riding a 4-wheeler in the pasture and rolled it.
Ugh.
So that was the most serious one. But every other one has been somebody getting scoped on the 50 caliber gun, where the gun recoils back and they don't have it firmly under their shoulder, and the scope will cut their eyelid, and that's it. It's crazy how little injury there's ever been at this thing.
Yeah, that is great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So do you travel to Niger then?
I have not been. We had a trip planned and I had a ticket bought for a couple years ago, and we were about 6 weeks out, and then Niger experienced a COVID outbreak, and they were requiring any foreign travelers to isolate for 7 days. So we had to cancel. I hope to go at some point because there's some interesting things that are starting to happen over there again with everything that we're a part of that's happening over there with the Hosanna Institute. So
yeah. So the well digger stays over there, right? It's shipped once. It doesn't.
It's
go back
over
and
there.
forth.
Yeah, it's over there because it's like, I don't know, a 5-ton truck is got the digging equipment on it, and then there's another 5-ton truck that's the support truck with all the water. Because you go out to a place where there is no water and you need water to drill a well. So there's 2 trucks. It's an impressive thing. And I only know it from pictures and videos and eyewitness accounts that have happened, but we hope to go one of these days.
So do the locals use the truck when you're not there, or do other churches go in and do the digging?
Yeah, I mean, it takes some training to run the truck. So no, our water well efforts have been a little bit on pause because we haven't had the in-country talent there right now to go and do that. But we have somebody who's getting ready to go into country, and he will start the water well drilling up again. And it's hopefully going to be positioned as a kind of a business as mission philosophy where then the wells can be self-supporting. So, yeah.
That'd be so great.
It's pretty cool.
Well,
Yep.
I was wondering if Mandate was a recruiting effort to bring young, adventurous men that are willing to travel to Niger. Has that happened?
I'll go into this a little bit, but one of the things we do every year is we kick off our opening event is we get a humongous teddy bear and we fill it with explosives and we shoot it and it blows up and the teddy bear goes away. I mean, it literally turns into fluff in the air. There's nothing really left. Because we're also trying to be safe, we put this thing out about 200 yards and we need somebody to shoot it. So there was a guy who was in Enid and his dad would come out to Manday. And I think he probably started coming. He started coming younger than we like kids to come, but his hobby was distance shooting. And he spent hours in his own pasture shooting, so he had, like, I remember seeing his primary weapon and he had all of these, this math formulas on his stock about trajectory and windage and all this stuff that he would click in so he could hit it first shot every time. His name is Virgil Irwin. And that's important because Virgil grew up coming to Manday and he is going to be our next new missionary over there. And his thing is called MA Global Mission. And Virgil got married to a gal named Mackenzie, and she and him are moving over there this next year. But the cool part about Virgil is his training here now that he's grown up is he's an airframe power plant mechanic and a pilot. And he flies a bush plane. So I don't know if you're familiar with this. It's a slow takeoff and landing thing. His main plane that he has flown most of the time that he's been training for all of this will stall at about 30 miles an hour. So in Kansas and in Oklahoma, you can get a headwind more than that, meaning that you can just kind of drop it down on the line. I mean, you don't have to have a runway almost. So Manday, Niger, and Virgil have all formed up into this cohesive thing where Virgil and Mackenzie are headed to Niger. He has built a 6-place airplane and is going there. They're going to build a runway and a hangar. in a green zone, which is important for Niger because there's some hostility there. Like one of the things we were looking at when we were going is getting armed escorts if we were going to go out of the capital city, because it can be dangerous for kidnappings of Westerners and that kind of thing. Anyway, green zone land is important because it's kind of exempt from the political pressures of Niger. So he should be able to maintain this for a longer period of time. And the goal is to fly around the country, medical supplies, people, resources and stuff. And then he's also going to pick up the well drilling thing and start that really going again. Along the way, though, we've supported the well drilling. We've supported a clinic. We've supported, Hosanna Institute in general. It's just really kind of this organic thing.
Is that his plane on the logo?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a cool looking plane, and what a great mission that is.
Yep, it'll be pretty neat.
In Niger, are they all Muslim, or they haven't heard about Jesus, or what's it look like there culturally?
It's not very Christian. So the effort behind the water well drilling was drill a well, plant a church. That's what it was.
But the poorest country in the whole wide world.
Yes. Yeah, people were walking hours and hours to an open well where there'd be manure and filth all in the water. And these wells are sanitary. They're a manual pump, so they're sealed, but you have to pump the pump, but you get clean water out of them. And so, yeah.
Just like the old days?
Yep, just like the old days, but they're pretty maintenance free.
That is cool.
Yep.
So how much do you raise for those missions at Manday, Kansas?
Well, last year was our biggest year. We had to cut off ticket sales at 1,000, and I think we raised about 215,000 that day.
Did you sell out at 1,000? You're going to sell out, or are you putting a limit on it this year?
Putting a limit on it this year again at 1,000. We're not there yet, but we're expecting to.
Yeah, and not that I want to focus on the money, but is most of it through donations or ticket sales or the auction?
The breakdown is interesting. So we collect funds from ticket sales, from we have promotional items that we sell there, shirts, t-shirts, caps, whatever. We sell ammunition. So we get ammunition, we sell it for people to shoot at the range. We have some people that come out of a little town called Mino, Oklahoma. They're called Hoyle Creek Firearms, and they are the full auto guys. So we sell opportunity to shoot full automatic weapons. And we sell opportunities to shoot the 50 caliber. Then we also auction race cars for the Great Pond Race, which is this, it's kind of this half demo derby, half race, all tongue-in-cheek fun fest that we create a track around, sometimes a pond, sometimes a dry depression in the field. But you just go out there and run these ragged cars until they don't run anymore. And then we blow some of them up. We light some of them on fire. I mean, it's just ridiculous. A couple of years ago, one of the guys lost forward gears. So he whips his car around and he's driving in reverse. It was so good. Oh, man. But it's so we make this track. We plow it up. We wet it down. We try to keep it slow. But
you try to keep it slow.
40.
I mean, you say it's all for fun and it's all for charity, but dude, I'm going to buy a car. Have you ever bought a car?
Oh, yeah.
How much do these cars go for?
The first one, like first choice, will bring $3,000 to $4,000.
What did you get?
Oh, I've done it two ways. So like the best way to possibly do it, because most of us,
I need some pointers because I'm going to win this race.
Most of us, if you have the ability to drop $3,000 on a car, great, come and buy a car. Most of us don't have the ability to drop $3,000 or $4,000 on a junk car that we're going to go race for a couple hours. Mm-hmm. So the best way to do it is get 4 or 5 friends. All of you chip in $200-$300, and we'll sell cars. Like last year, I think we got some that were selling for around $1,000.
Okay.
So
do you sell out of cars?
Yeah. Yeah. And then you can also, if you want to be reassured that you're going to get a car,
yes,
you can bring your own. Now, your own car costs $650 at the gate. We're losing the opportunity to sell you a car, but you're bringing a for sure thing. So bring your car, pay us $650, but you got to leave it. And so we want you to leave it all out there, man. We get another $250 from scrapping that car from a salvage guy that has given us a fixed price.
Oh, that's really great.
So that's the car auction raises a lot of money for us. And But dude, it is so much fun tearing around a pasture.
How do you figure out if you get 4 buddies to go in? Who gets in? Do we all ride?
Yeah,
Do we all ride?
You all get in it and you all ride, and then you take turns driving because we do heats. So you go for a few laps and then everybody comes in, and then we'll start the next heat and you trade drivers during that.
Okay.
But,
I was
dude,
trying to figure out what I'm looking forward to most. I got 4 tickets.
Okay.
And the race really sounds fun.
The race is
Do
a
I win
blast.
anything?
No. You win the get out of the car and take it home. Like, can you believe I did that? You know, that kind of stuff.
Bring your own trophy.
Bring your own trophy, man. Yeah.
Stand on the car.
Yep.
Pour your own champagne over yourself.
Now, I can tell you what, the trophy.
Oh, no champagne.
Here's the trophy. Get your car, rag it out, and then tear off the steering wheel or something and be like,
Yes.
Yep.
Do you paint your car, or do you have time to paint your car?
Yep. Like we have cans of paint and stuff out there. You can paint your car. If you bring your own car, bring it. Like people show up like last year, 2 years ago, somebody showed up with their Cadillac old CTS painted up like an A-10 Warthog airplane. They had this, the World War II, teeth, on the front of it. And
Oh, yeah, right on.
yeah, they painted it all silver and did fake rivets and stuff. It's hilarious.
Well, we've got Evel Knievel's old crash car. So Evel Knievel was inspired by a guy from Kansas. His name was Joey Chitwood. Joey Chitwood had a traveling circus kind of rodeo with rodeo clowns.
I had a Chitwood Mr. Pibb when I was growing up, the little Ertel toy.
You did?
I did, yeah.
So that was Evel Knievel's inspiration.
Okay.
He was so inspired by this kind of entertainment atmosphere that he had George Barris, who also built the Batmobile, build a crash car. Its purpose was Evel Knievel would get in it, drive it into the wall, and the doors and the hood would fly off. So if I hadn't already restored it.
Well, you wouldn't want to leave that to the wills of the scrapper at Manday either.
True.
Now,
But
yeah.
when we got it, or when the collector bought it, it was in a scrapyard and it had scrap written on the side of it. And a couple guys went in and saved it.
Nice.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
That's worth more than $250.
Yeah, it sure is.
How many cars?
I think last year we auctioned like 13, and then there was another 5 or 6, 7 that people brought.
Well, it sounds like a huge waste of money because they're just going to lose to me.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I mean, you can create your win however you want, but it's good stuff.
You mean I could stage it?
Oh, yeah.
Why not?
And, like we've had people like the cars that they bring and have time to modify. They'll rig up the windshield washer pump. They'll fill it with thinned out transmission fluid and then put it into the intake so they can squirt oil into the engine that makes a smoke screen behind them. I mean, we've had people show up with cop light bars on the top, all sorts of stuff. It's awesome.
That's so great.
Yeah. The car thing has been one of the funnest things. And I tell you, just like Manday itself, I think I had gone 1 year and we spent a lot of time riding 4-wheelers around this pond that our organizer had in his field. And I was like, dude, we have got to get a car out here next year.
Yeah.
And so we did. We got a car. It was the biggest piece of junk. It gave up its last bit of life on the drive from Enid to his farm, and we never got to drive it in the field. So we drug it out there to the field with another vehicle and just shot it up with all, we shot it full of holes. And we had a guy in those original years bring out a bowling ball cannon that he made out of oil field, the bowling ball would just fit into the bore perfectly, and that thing would shoot 1,300 yards. It was unbelievable. And so we loaded that bowling ball cannon up in the trunk of the car and then shot it point blank into the trunk lid just to see what would happen.
Yeah.
I mean, we were doing stuff like that. And that's how the Great Pond Race was born. And the next year we had 4 cars and we were just ripping them through there. And then the next year we had more and we made an event out of it. And then we started charging for them. And it was, that's one of the cooler things.
So that's my championship. That's my first championship trophy of the day.
What's your second?
Pumpkin chucking. Is the bowling ball cannon one and the same as the pumpkin chucker?
No. So the guys that did the bowling ball cannon were out of Enid, and this is a little bit too far for them. The pumpkin cannon, the Punkinator, sometimes makes an appearance and sometimes doesn't. It's kind of a fickle machine.
Oh, okay.
But it is essentially a humongous, oversized potato gun built on a fire truck chassis.
When you say oversized, how big do you think that is?
Well, you can fit a pumpkin down the bore, and the barrel is 20 feet long. It really shoots it pretty far. It's pretty fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it just watching it, or is it also like a clay pigeon?
No,
that
that's
you
a
can shoot
watching
at?
it. That's a watching it thing. Yeah. We have to kind of organize the day with some transitions built in to herd all these guys around and stuff. And pumpkin chunking is one of the transition things.
Okay. And so you asked about what my second ribbon is. Sounds like I don't get one for furthest pumpkin.
No.
But might get one for marksmanship. Is there any marksmanship at all with an automatic weapon?
No, not that we give awards for. We did do this thing last year for the first time where we have an AR modified to shoot a golf ball. And so you buy your golf ball, and then we have a tee or a green built out into the shooting range. And we give a prize to the person who gets the closest to the tee with their AR-15 modified golf ball shooter.
Okay, so cool. If you're a golf fan,
that could be number 2 if you.
I'm not much into golf.
Yeah, I mean, you could also go for like the most meat or the most honey buns eaten, the most Dr. Peppers drank.
Is there meat on a honey bun?
Oh yeah, there's
meat on a honey bun.
Sure, yeah. Like we'll do bacon again this year. The bacon honey bun sandwich is a true culinary experience.
What else is on the menu?
Lunch will probably be. It's usually some sort of a pork burger. John Yoder, that used to own Yoder Meats, does it for us. So around here, you may not know Yoder Meats, but Yoder Meats is kind of a big name in the whole meat world.
I don't know. I know Yoder Smokers.
Yeah. No, Yoder Smokers is not related. Yoder's also a town out by Hutchinson. So anyway, we do some pork burgers. There's usually baked beans. I think this year we were either going to do slaw or potato salad again. There's usually like all day honey buns. So like we buy a pallet of honey buns. There's Dr. Pepper and Mountain Dew is what we have to drink. There's the diet drink for the day is the water. So
yes. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Not just diet. That's diet.
It's diet enough. Yep. I mean,
what time does this thing start in the morning?
Gates open at 10.
First honey bun at 10.
Honey
bun sandwich at noon.
Honey bun sandwich before the bacon disappears. Because I don't know how many pounds of bacon we did last year. I think maybe like 100 or something like that. If you don't get your bacon sandwich early in the day, it goes away. I'm pretty sure we've got lined up the guys who do the Pronto Pups at the state fair. He came out last year, set up his wagon, and served us all Pronto Pups in the afternoon.
Dude, those are the best.
They're so
corn
good.
dogs at the state fair.
Yeah, they're awesome. And then we also had a soft serve ice cream machine going. So supper was Pronto Pups and ice cream. Yeah, the vegetable is like potatoes, I think.
I've got another award to win then before sundown.
Yeah.
And that's clay shooting.
Oh, yeah.
Bring your own shotgun?
Yep. Oh, you bring your own shotgun. We've got shells to buy there if you need them. You can bring your own too. But yeah, we'll have a nice trap set. There's 5 throwers, 6 throwers, I think, something like that. And yeah, there's a lot of guys that spend the whole day out there doing that. It's a lot of fun.
Like a person thrower or a mechanical thrower?
Mechanical throwers.
So you stomp on it and it goes. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we've got volunteers that help keep those things running and filled.
Wow, I can't imagine how many volunteers does it take to put on Man Day, Kansas?
It's a lot. We'll have 50-ish probably. Yep.
So cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
So I'm the champion race car driver. Probably not so much at golf. I'll let you take that one.
Okay.
You a golfer?
No, not really.
Yeah. Then I'll take the skeet shooting and whatever. I don't know how we're going to count the competition for the automatic weapons, just most bodies.
Yeah.
I mean, most teddy bears.
A good one for the full auto would be how long you can keep the trigger pulled without letting off. The record is 250 rounds.
How long does that take?
Not very long.
Wow, man. Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got to work out your shoulder, or you got to work out.
It gets hot, and you got to keep the barrel down. It's something. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Cannot wait.
Yep. And then the guys from Manhattan, Kansas, called Man Hatchet, bring out their hatchet throwing portable stuff and set up 4 or 5 lanes of hatchet throwing. That's been pretty popular over the years. People just, having fun doing that. We'll have a place set up with picnic tables. I mean, honestly, it's nice to get away from the noise and stuff a little bit and just sit and chat with your dudes that you brought out, meet some new people or whatever.
Yeah, that would be nice. Are there any bands?
No, we play music. It's canned. Yep.
But there is a PA system,
Yep.
even though there's so much noise already.
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, we have we've got range masters and people out on the range that can shut the thing down right now. So, yeah.
What if it rains?
Bring a poncho.
Okay.
That's it. We're having it. I mean, we've never not had it because of weather. And the one time that we maybe should have canceled it because of weather, we didn't. And it was the most fun ever. It was snow. We had, I don't know, like 1.5 feet of snow.
Wow.
And it was a blast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So thanks for putting up with my question about
Oh,
what if
yeah.
it rains. I saw it on the FAQ. I would encourage everybody to read the FAQ on Facebook.
Yep.
Facebook is like the only outlet for Manday that I have found.
That's it. That's the only one we run.
Yet people ask. Everything's in the FAQ. It's a pretty entertaining FAQ. It's very filled with testosterone.
Yep.
One of the questions people ask is, sounds like a very patriotic event. Why are you sending your money out of the country?
Yeah. Like I mentioned earlier, the organic nature of Manday has been one of the coolest things about it. There are so many good not-for-profits that do so much good around the country. I mean, pick one, right? Mm-hmm. This one's ours. We'd be open to talking to somebody if they want to throw a Manday event in their town to come out and help them do it for their thing. Manday isn't exclusive to fundraising for Hosanna, Niger. It is for our Manday, but
Well, people need the gospel outside Kansas too. So
yeah. I mean,
maybe, I don't know, from what I've seen in New York City.
I think the best reason that we can come up with for why Hosanna, Niger versus any number of other things is because we made it so we get to pick.
Yeah, that's right. Right
Yep.
on.
Yep.
Right on. Well, good luck at Manday. I'll see you there. What should I wear?
Whatever.
Okay. Well, I
mean,
got some Evel Knievel leathers.
Yeah. I mean,
Helmet.
depends on what it's like. I mean, there's like last year it's kind of hot. So, I mean, long pants were
shorts.
Yeah. Yeah. But come out, man. I mean, Manday, Kansas on Facebook. You follow the links. We're doing a service this year that helps us sell the tickets and gets the waiver and everything done for you ahead of time. We should just be able to scan your phone walking in the door this year. So that's kind of new for us and should help us.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I saw that you can register. You can still buy your tickets even without having a name on it. I don't know who I'm taking yet.
Yeah. In terms of Manday this year, we just need people to show up, and that's what we're still looking for. We're still wanting to get it to the 1,000 and shut it down like we did last year.
What do I got to do to convince you to come to Manday, Kansas?
I mean, it's funny because like shooting guns and stuff like that I like to do it, but it's not like a humongous hobby for me. My biggest joy of that day is watching everybody else have the time of their lives doing crap that they don't ever get to do. Like the first time I drove a car in the pasture, I was like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe I'm wasting this Acura out here. Like I'm born and bred like this Midwest Kansas boy who doesn't leave their plate full at the table, right? And I'm out here wasting this Acura Integra. It was like, I am ripping this thing apart in the field and who cares? And it was so awesome. So the car thing for me is fun. I don't always get to do it because it's a lot of work for me that day, but it's worth it. We have some people who they don't get to own firearms for whatever reason or whatever, and they can come borrow one of ours and shoot it at the range. And they just, it's a lot of fun for them. It's just something they never get to do. That's part of it.
For some reason. So this is a special event for felons? Maybe. Who don't?
I'll just leave that there.
Okay.
I mean, maybe their wife won't let them own a gun.
Oh, the anti-Valentine's Day. This is perfect. This is great. I cannot wait.
Yep.
So we've brought this to your ear holes. Now you know about Manday, Kansas. I don't think there's anything we left out.
I don't think so.
So here's how you can get signed up for Manday right now.
Facebook, Manday, Kansas. Find the link, click it, put your information in, your credit card, you're in.
So easy.
Yep. Well, one other thing about that, it gets you into the gate. It gets you a t-shirt. It says Man Day on it. It gets you 1 ticket into the AR-15 raffle. It gets you 2 meals and all the Honeybuns and Dr. Pepper you can drink. Bring your cash for the cars, the bullets, and the swag you want to take home.
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine how much cash I'm going to need to bring to buy all these awards and trophies.
Yeah. So we need to break $215,000 this year. Let's do it.
Whoa. Yeah, perfect. It's great to have goals. You're going to hit every single one of those goals.
Hope so.
And I want to thank you for spending time with us today. This is, again, Jason with Man Day. And good luck with your event. Happy landings. I will see you there. Cape on.
Sweet. I appreciate the opportunity a lot.
All right, brother.
If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe. It's our mission to preserve and present the legacy of Evel Knievel. So if you have an idea for an episode or a guest, or have a suggestion to improve our show, just drop us a line at joe@thrill.show.
Like, I just think the Evel Knievel way.
We leave you with the encouraging words from the book of Deuteronomy. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you or forsake you. Until next time, happy landings.
You like to fly to the seat of your pants? This is where you belong.